Welcome back. This is Chris from Rams Project. We're going to be going over some things. First off, we're in a different setting, a little bit outside time. The weather's getting nicer, everything's getting better. And I just felt like it would be better to be out here because it's calming and relaxing, and who doesn't like being outside? All right, so I want to talk about honor and pride, or pride and honor, how to distinct the two and effectively be the man that we need to be and not fall into the trap of pride. So, and I'm going to dive into the part of pride where is pride bad or is it fine? Well, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and tackle that. So we're told in Scripture not to be prideful, but yet we talk all the time about how we're proud of our children. We're proud of our accomplishments, proud of our spouses, proud of what we have obtained in this world. And I feel like we have the wrong vocabulary on that. And, you know, our vocabulary in English is kind of jacked up to where we can't articulate and put out the best words that we want to put out to portray, or at least I can't, and convey what's in here to the masses, to the people around, so that they can take in everything of what we're trying to articulate, right? So what am I trying to convey with pride? So I'm going to break down these words so we can maybe get a better understanding on how we should act and how we should conduct ourselves. So with pride, Jesus is very clear to not be prideful. Pride comes before the fall. And I'm telling you right, anybody who knows has been through struggles in life is that we don't want to fall. The struggles that we deal with are too hard. The world's hard enough anyways, right? If we can keep ourselves from falling and fall into a trap or being into some type of bad way, why would we not avoid that? So with pride, you have the fact of, well, I don't think that when we're proud of our family and we're proud of our accomplishments and I'm proud of what we have done and accumulated in this life, I don't think that's the right word. And I think we need to turn it maybe to honor. And why do I say turn it to honor? Well, in the 5th commandment, we're told to honor our father and mother, right? And how do we honor our father and mother? We honor our father and our mother by our actions and being obedient or not acting a certain way to put a bad understanding of your name, your last name, or your parents, and let people see how you act and think, wow, those parents didn't raise them up too well, right? Man, Nuge's parents sucked. He's sitting here acting this way and that way. And the bad thing is honestly, I've lived that way. In the past, I have lived like I did not honor my parents very well. And that's the only commandment that comes with the promise of longevity on this earth, right? So, man, maybe we need to get past the pride and get to honor, where we honor ourselves, honor our families, honor our communities. And so with pride, we get the pride out of the way and we say that we honor our families. We love how our children have turned out. We love how our spouses act and carry themselves. We love what we have accomplished, right? We have honor of our families. So I think we need to change that and stop going with the pride part and change it from pride to honor. And from when we get to honor, I think we need to get to another point of it and figure out why we're not willing to stand for much anymore, or that it doesn't look like people are willing to stand and do, right? I got a guilty part of me where when I work out, I listen to some pretty heavy music, right? I listen to some heavy rock. I listen to some, I don't know, well, I do know, but like Rob Bailey from back in the day, I still listen to that stuff. But there's a song that he has, and there's a question he has in there. Why is it hard to find a man with honor? Show me a man without honor. You know, what is a man without honor? What is a man without fire in his eyes? Who are you? He also said that he's so sick and tired of the lack of honor in this world. And he's so sick and tired that nobody is willing to die for anything. So I'm going to try not to get all fired up here, because I'm a fired up type of individual where I want to let not so much my emotions out, but to raise my emotions up to convey something to an audience. That's how I do sometimes, and I don't know if that's the best way, and I'm trying to learn other ways of being able to talk to other people and to convey a message and portray a message, so that I don't lose some people to gain just a handful. I want to be able to get to everybody, right? And I know that sometimes my harshness, my sternness, my bravado comes a little too strong sometimes, and people can't handle it. So I get onto it. So I really do have a problem with this. I've struggled with it through a lot of my life, of men being soft. We're too soft. Excuse me. And that came a lot more once I got out of the military. I started really seeing it. And I didn't hold myself better to be able to understand people, and not just understand people, but to the part where I don't get aggravated at all of what people do. Because let's be honest, there's real losers out there. Not everybody's going to strive to be a good man. There are losers out there. And we can't get lost in the fact that we want to try or get angry and be stuck in the angriness or upsetness of the losers that aren't doing anything. So, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a long one, guys, trying to get this out and conveyed so we can understand it. But man, it does bug the heck out of me that nobody is willing to die for anything. Everybody's so soft and in their creature comforts and love having their stuff because they're too weak and too soft to take what's coming to them. Now, I'm not going to try to be a predictor of things and try to throw fear-mongering out there, but there's truth out there that we're going through a fall. America's going through a judgment right now. And I don't think there's a way out of it. I think that the Americans, we're too reprobate. And we've been turned over to a reprobate mind. And the problem is with a reprobate mind, you can't get yourself out of it. You're stuck there. Only way you come out is by the grace of God to pull you out, right? So I get frustrated in one breath. Why is nobody prepared to die for anything? Why is there no honor? Why are no men willing to stand up and protect women and children? No matter what this whole MGTOW nonsense that you men have fallen into, it's from the enemy, man. It's telling you that you don't need to have a woman, you don't need to have a family, the world's crap. Man, that's the wrong. Do y'all not want to conquer anything? Do y'all not have that inside of you? Did God not place something in you as a man? You look back as far as you are. Get past the shell of a man you are now, right? And this doesn't go to everybody. But if you hear this and you know who, and you feel it, then you know who I'm talking to. And you need to be listening. But if you're the shell of the man that you were created to be, or you were once before, what made you give up? And I promise you, if you look back at that, it's something lied to you and told you that you needed to be this way, or that this wasn't worth it. You might have a divorce and lose half your stuff, or whatever happens with your kids growing up and being ruthless and not being what you want them to be. if you look back, the reason why those things are the way they are is because we saw it in our lives, especially me as like a Gen Xer type thing. Sorry, that our families checked out. They checked out as parenting us. They gave us to the government and let us be brought up that way. We didn't come home till dark or see our parents till dark. And we didn't eat. We didn't sit at the table and eat with our families. At least that was my case. We did when I was young, but then as I got older, that went away. And we turned into key latch kids, man. We got out of school and we did what we wanted to. And our parents thought that they could check out on each other also, and that's how divorce rates raised. It was because nobody had honor and everybody was stuck in pride. The full circle of this stuff, guys. Don't get stuck in the trap of not being or trying because the world sent you a bill of goods, right? That, oh yeah, you can sit here, you don't need to have kids, you don't need to have a wife, you don't need to do any of that because you might lose half your stuff because she'll leave you for another guy. Well, that's going to happen. You're going to have times in life where people are going to do you wrong, right? They're going to do you a way that hurts you and makes you vulnerable, right? Take advantage of you. That's going to happen. We can do our best to stay away from it and try to get away from it, but it doesn't work that way. If you want to do anything in this life, you're going to have to be vulnerable. If you're going to want to conquer anything in this life, you're going to have to be vulnerable. If you're wanting to do anything in this life, you've got to be vulnerable, and you've got to be able to sometimes just take it on the chin. Because if you won't take it on the chin, then you're never going to be anything. You're not. You can't sit here and look at what you have going on around you in fear that, or not do anything in the future in fear of, oh, I might not get all that I think, or everything's going to be taken from me. That's part of life. If you're going to do anything worth anything, there's high stakes, right? There's a very good chance that you're going to lose. The problem is that, or the key to it is that we don't stay down when we lose. We get up and we keep trying to go forward. We get up and we keep trying to do good and be great and do awesome things, right? We don't let A, B, C, and D affect who we are on the inside. We don't let it affect our character. We don't let it affect how we carry ourselves. All that's already established, and we need to establish that. But it does bug me that I sit there in one breath and I'm aggravated with why is nobody willing to die for anything? Why is nobody willing to sacrifice? Why are so many people okay with teeing up and doing as they're told when it's not good for you, for the things that are being told for you to do, right? But then the other part of it is that I know that they're reprobate. I know that they are stuck in a place where they can't come out of. But I do pray. I pray all the time for people to come out of it, that God would open our eyes, that there would be a revival in this nation. Okay, a wise person, and I don't know if I heard this or if I came up with this, but I'm not going to give myself that much credit. But anyways, there's 3 R's that's going to fix this nation. Right? 3 R's. The first one is the rapture. If you believe in that the rapture is going to come, then let's just go with the first R, rapture. That's the only way it fixes the nation. We're all gone anyways. It doesn't matter. Secondly, is one that I don't want, is a revolution. I don't want that, but if it comes down the pike, then we got to deal with what comes down the pike, right? But it's not going to be good. It's going to be neighbor against neighbor, just like all of our wars that we have that are big, brother against brother, cousin against cousin, stuff like that. So we've got to get to the point to understand that is a possibility, but nobody wants that. All right. So the third R is a revival. I pray for that. Hard, I pray for that hard. That we can have a revival. That we are opened up and our hearts are softened. And we can come to the realization that we are a faulty, not good people. And the only way we get out of this is from a Savior who gets us out of it. Right? So I say those things, man, with being aggravated. And are you aggravated too? Do you have a part of you that is tired of seeing men not stepping up? I'm going to do other videos on that. Probably like the one of the betrayal of MGTOW. I probably could just do a whole 30 minutes of that, but that ain't going to be that long. I could do a whole probably 30 minutes on the 3 R's, right? So I just think that we need to get past the pride. Stop with pride. That's feelings, that's emotions, that deals with your heart. And that's what God told us, Christ told us not to follow our hearts. Well, when he's talking about that, he's talking about emotions, feelings. That's the part of the heart that he says will betray you. We've got to use our mind, our intellect to be able to get through those things and understand life and not get trapped into our feelings. And I'm not the best at that either, man. I fall into that all the time too. Not all the time, but I've fallen into that before. Been taken advantage of by my own emotions. Been clouded with my thoughts and trying to come to a derivative or deduce a problem to be able to come to a conclusion, man, happens to me. And I try to get that out of the way, but I'm weak in that too. But I'm asking y'all, do you not have anything to stand for? Do you not have anything to live for? And if you don't, how do you procure the stuff that you are willing to live for and willing to die for and willing to sacrifice for? I think, honestly, it comes down to, do you have convictions and morals? If you can get convictions and morals, I think the rest plays itself out. I think you'll get past the whole part of, do you have this or that, or, man, the conviction and morals are what's going to guide you. They're going to give you the moral compass, right? That's why they call it a moral compass. They will guide you in what needs to be done through life the correct way. Sorry, I got a little bit of dry throat going on. But anyways, when you have that the convictions and moral compass and you're in the Word and you're figuring out who you are and what you're created for, it's way easier for you to go out there and find that woman that you're supposed to have, that mate, that spouse, to move forward and create something awesome. Yeah, I know some people are meant to be single. That's what Scripture says. But it also says no man's good to be left alone. Right? It's not good for man to be alone. If you're alone, you're very vulnerable. That's another video. I probably need to not even talk about stuff. Just talk the video. But anyways, I just want y'all to know, man, that you're not alone if you're struggling with being aggravated with weak men, soft men, and that nobody has honor and nobody's willing to sacrifice or die for anything. And then on the other end, you men who are a shell of yourself, who don't have convictions or morals and anything that you're wanting to live for, there's a place here. I'll show you that way. Your convictions and morals will come when you actually have a belief system in something bigger than you. And you realize that you don't matter. And in the grand scheme of things, all this stuff wasn't created for you. It was created around you in a way that you were placed here for a purpose plan. for a higher power, not for your power, right? You were brought here and put here for His purpose. And when you figure that out, you find out what to live for. You get that conviction. I know this has been a long one, guys. I'll go ahead and stop it. I'll go ahead and cut these short and move on. Stay awesome, guys. I love y'all. Just keep putting this stuff in your tackle box and trying to figure out life and plan through life. I'm no better than you. I'm just trying to get a little bit out that I can before we get to a part where we can't stand anymore. It's going to take all of us. We're all going to have to come together. We are the remnant, guys. We are. And if we're going to do anything, it's going to be through the power of God. So let's go strong. Let's stay strong. Let's be strong. All right, guys. Stay Oscar Mike.